Alright, here we have a MacBook with no power. This is an A1398 MacBook. In spite of the fact that in every single one of these videos, people know that I take the computer and I put it up like this, they wrote their fucking address and email and phone number on the back of the machine. So if you all just saw that and wind up calling him, fuck it, that's on him, not me. Oh no, you replaced the battery yourself. Oh no. Oh no, what else did you do? So this is PP-Bus G3 Hot. I'm going to see if PP-Bus G3 Hot is shorted to CPU vCore, as it almost always is on these boards, and if it is, I'm throwing this out. It's not. 9.2 million ohms. Drink alcohol, then fix MacBook, in that order. You know, I've done that before, and it doesn't always lead to the highest quality MacBook repairs. What do they do to you, MacBook? Who hurt you? So the first thing we're going to do is plug the charger in with the battery not plugged in and see how many amps it's taking. Good night. Have a good weekend. Picture of Phoebe? 48 megapixel picture of Phoebe? Phoebe! No, maybe! I want to see picture. Steve won't send me a picture of his new kitty. It's so this god-awful, mean, evil man. All right, it's taking 30 milliamps, which means our PP bus is likely going to be present. We have a light in the charger, which means PP3V42 is present. If we have 12.56 volts over here, that means the SMC is turning on. Interesting. PP bus is not present. PP bus is 1.8 volts. That's no good. All right, this may actually be something that we can solve. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take the screws out of this MacBook. Now, they're the wrong screws in the wrong place, but that's what we expect from a MacBook that's been opened before. Let's just pray that they didn't put the long screw in the short hole. Oh God, you bastard, you did. You put the long screw in the short hole. So now we are decreasing the standard for this repair from turns on and everything functions to fan spin, because you put the long screw in the short hole right next to the graphics chip, which means I can expect that the GPU data lines be messed. So, if this has a fan spin, I'm done. My website is quite clear about not sending in MacBooks that other people have destroyed. This display assembly is for the wrong year. This is the thin webcam cable, thick webcam connector. You do not use thin webcam assembly in an 820-3787 board. You use that in an 820-3332 board. This is incorrect. Incorrect. Ah! Alright, so PP-Bus G3 Hot is missing, so let's take a look at U7100, which is going to be the circuit responsible for creating PP-Bus G3 Hot. Now, the first thing that we notice if we take a look at that circuit is that we have resistors that have holes in them. Look at that. Look at that. See how those resistors look like they have eyes? Bam. Bam. These resistors don't have eyes, but those two resistors do. These two resistors don't have eyes. See that? But these two resistors have eyes. Look at that. The Paul Daniel software says 10 kiloohms for that one and 7 kiloohms for that one. Now let's take a look on the schematic and board view software for an 820-3787 MacBook and take a look at what those resistors are for. You like how fast I found those resistors, don't you? Don't you? I just went over to the board. I went like this. Boom. And I could immediately focus in on the spot that needed my attention. Well, if you found that impressive, you should know that I'm single. Don't delay. If you're a part of the 0.03% of my audience that's female, come and get a date today. What we do over here is we're going to take a look at a board view for an 820-3787. That's R7121 and R7122. Now, these are the resistors between the current sensing resistor and the U7100. This over here is a current sensing resistor. Now, the way this works is quite simple. Let's say you were trying to tell how fast the water was flowing through a stream. You would have to put your hand in the stream so that you could physically feel how fast the water is moving. However, if you're far away, let's say you're on top of a mountain, you won't be able to tell. So you would need your friend to put your hand in the water, and then if you're going to actually type into the computer in your home up in the mountain how fast it's going, you need your friend to yell over to you how fast it's moving. So that's what's happening over here. So over here you have the current that's flowing through from the charger. So this is where the current is going to be coming in from the adapter. Let me just give you a better view. Let's get just PDF on the screen. Here we go. So this is where it's coming in from the adapter. It's going to go through these transistors. So this is where it's coming from the charger. Now, over here, this is a resistor. This is just like the guy's hands in the stream in the river. This resistor is going to create a teeny tiny bicicletas worth, as Cartman would say, of a voltage drop across it. And that teeny tiny voltage drop is going to be proportional to how much current the system is using. So a big voltage difference between the top of the resistor and the bottom means lots of current being used. A small voltage drop is going to mean a tiny amount of current being used. Now, this is the chip that needs to know all of that, but it's not in the stream. This is the guy up on the mountain typing stuff into his computer. So this would be the guy with his hand in the stream, R7120, and then he's going to yell over to U7100 and go, "Yo, the stream is moving fast!" And think of this like the telephone line or whatever, the walkie-talkie or whatever the hell in between. So the line between the top of the resistor and the bottom of this current sense resistor has a 10 ohm resistor in between on each side. However, those two resistors are blown, which we spotted with startling efficiency. Now, we're going to have to replace those resistors, but before we replace those resistors, we have to figure out why they blew. Because if we don't figure out why they blew, they're going to blow again. And we don't want to have them blow again. That's also inefficient. So what we're going to do over here is see if there's a short circuit at the bottom of either resistor. As you can see, at the bottom of each resistor, there is a 1.6... here we go. There is a 1 ohm short to ground over here. Now, what could be shorted on that line? It could be the capacitor, the other capacitor, or the ISL6259. And I'm going to take a guess that the ISL6259 is the chip that died, most likely because this cheap schmuck was using a knockoff charger and killed his board. One way to find out, though. So we're going to remove the U7000 and see. And if that U7000 is dead, then I know that you used a knockoff charger. There are people staring in my window, so I just waved to them and said hi. That's quite strange. This is not supposed to be a fishbowl. Please don't stare at me. Please don't tap on the glass. The animals are sensitive to that. This is not a zoo. Now, we're going to measure and see if there's a short to ground. Short to ground is gone, meaning that you used the knockoff charger, didn't you? And you lied about it! You didn't put it in your intake form. I'm disappointed in you. I'm not angry at you. I'm just very disappointed. Okay, remove all that mixture of leaded and lead-free solder. That will never happen. Unless they're drunk and want to use the bathroom for free. That happens every now and then on Friday and Saturday night. Okay, so Beautiful. Now we're going to get ourselves a donor to steal these pieces from, and then we're going to have a working board. Okay. We're going to have to warn this person to never use a knockoff charger again. Spend the money at the Apple Store for the charger that's not a piece of crap. If you're buying some piece of shit computer, buy a piece of shit charger. You bought a super expensive MacBook, which means you can probably afford to buy their super expensive snowflake charger to go with it. Fan spin. Ladies and gentlemen, another MacBook saved from the scrap heap of an Apple Store. Another MacBook. And if you want to learn more about how to do exactly what it is that I'm doing right here, and you want to learn how to do it in an environment that's free of pre- and post-roll ads, in actually better quality and superior categorization than here, head over to boards.rossmangroup.com. Boards.rossmangroup.com is not only home to the paid forum where we have engineers answering your questions for $29 a month, but it is also home to a bunch of free videos, just like the one that you're watching here. You can click repair videos by model or repair videos by problem. If you choose repair videos by model, you can click here, and it will bring you to every single model board that there is. So you could simply click on 820-3787, and it will bring you to a list of videos that are hosted somewhere else other than YouTube. So if YouTube ever decides to do something stupid and my account goes away, it's all still hosted here. Or you can go to MacBook board repair videos by problem type. Click, and you have PB Bus G3 Hot missing, no green light and charger, PM Sleep S4L missing, and so on and so forth. For every single one of these types of problems, you can click, and then you click over here, and there will be a list of different videos. These videos are all hosted by Vimeo. It was a great plan. It cost me only like $900 or so something a year. So not only do I have somebody I can actually talk to, unlike YouTube, if my videos go down, but you get to watch the videos with 0 pre-roll and 0 post-roll ads, since I'm actually paying for the hosting. And best part of all, these are the videos uploaded from the original masters, and Vimeo encodes look far better than YouTube encodes. So not only can you watch the videos here in better quality, not only can you watch the videos with 0 advertisements, but they're all perfectly sorted. So if you're learning and you're just starting to fix boards on your own, you can look up your specific board model number or your specific problem with your board and then get directed to a video that's likely exactly what you need, rather than wade through a playlist on YouTube of 600 or 700 different videos of random different problems. I'm hoping that sorting things out like this is going to make it easier for people like you to kind of learn. And it's not just that getting the information out there. It's getting the information out there in a way that is easily digestible to new people. That is what I find to be most important. So hopefully you've learned something, and let's move on to the next MacBook. Do you have a MacBook that needs to be fixed? Come by our store, which is open to the public at 186 First Avenue in Manhattan. Are you located outside of New York? No problem. We have a live chat where you can speak with us about the repair that you need, a phone number where a representative will pick up during our open hours where you can contact us about repairs. Send us a machine from anywhere in the world by going to our website and clicking on the mailbox, or simply heading over to sendyourmacbook.com. That's sendyourmacbook.com, where you'll be redirected to our mail-in instructions page that includes the form and the directions on how to send us a MacBook for repair. Don't delay, click our affiliate link down below.